My name is Tremaine Fields, and this is my presentation on lawyers. I am currently pursuing a bachelor's degree in legal studies, the ultimate goal being becoming a defense attorney. Naturally, this is what my presentation is going to pertain to. My topics will include how to become a lawyer, the different types of lawyers, with an emphasis on attorneys, and joining a large firm versus starting your own private practice. So there are two key steps in becoming a fully licensed attorney. The first being graduating law school, and the second passing the bar exam. Becoming a lawyer usually takes 7 years of full-time study. 4 years of undergrad study, followed by 3 years of law school. Most states and jurisdictions require lawyers to complete a Juris Doctor degree from a law school, accredited by the American Bar Association. A JD bachelor's degree completion of the law school admissions test, aka the LSAT, is required for entry into most law schools. The LSAT measures applicants' aptitude for the study of the law. Your bachelor's degree, though courses in English, political science, and history are useful, law school admissions counselors today recognize that the LSAT measures applicants' aptitude for the study of the law. LSAT scores an undergraduate GPA measures the main criteria for admission into law school. You do not have to be Becoming a licensed lawyer is called being admitted to the bar, and licensing exams are called bar exams. To practice law in any state, a person must be admitted to a bar under rules established by the jurisdiction's highest court. The requirements vary by individual states and jurisdictions. Most states require that a person pass one or more written bar exams, and an oral exam to be found by an admitting board to have the character to represent and advise for others. Lawyers who want to practice in more than one state often must take separate bar exams in each state. Many law schools and state and local bar associations provide continual legal education courses and help lawyers stay current with recent developments. A lawyer's job is to advise people and their organizations on legal issues and disputes. There are many areas that lawyers can specialize in, from environmental law to property law. A small number of experienced lawyers are nominated or elected to be judges or full-time law school faculty and administrators. In criminal law, there are two types of attorneys: prosecutors and defense lawyers. The prosecutors represent the government in all criminal prosecutions. On the other hand, you have the defense counsel, who represents the defendant accused of a crime. The defense counsel guides and advises the defendant through the multiple stages of the criminal justice process, starting with the arrest and ending with the appeal. Navigating the client through the complexities of criminal law and procedure is the primary job of the defense counsel. The defense counsel explains what has happened at every stage in the justice process and ensures the defendant knows and understands their constitutional rights. It is the duty of defense counsel to zealously defend their client and force the prosecution to prove every element of the charges leveled at the defendant beyond a reasonable doubt. Defense counsels often view their role as a safeguard against government outreach. They make sure that the prosecution does everything properly and according to the rules. Constitutional protections, the rules of evidence, and the rules of criminal procedure all have been enacted for the protection of citizens accused of a crime. Some additional duties include investigating the crime, interviewing the accused, contacting a prosecutor, interviewing witnesses and police, preparing for trial, representing the accused at pretrial hearings, representing the accused at trial, and if necessary, representing at sentencing and preparing an appeal. Until recently, the legal community did not put much emphasis on the criminal law. This outlook seems to be based on the thought that associating with and negotiating for alleged criminals was deemed distasteful for a professional attorney. This attitude, coupled with the low pay and status associated with defense attorneys, added to the legal community's negative view. Furthermore, law schools seldom offer more than 1 or 2 courses in criminal law and criminal procedure. This has begun to change lately, and the interest and prestige is growing in criminal defense. Another ethical area defense counsel must watch for is conflict of interest. There are different issues between private and public counsel. As private defense counsel is paid by the defendant, such payments may create a conflict of interest. Often private defense attorneys are paid in advance at the beginning of a legal representation. The fee is kept whether the case is disposed of early through a plea bargain or goes to trial. Trials require a great deal of defense counsel's time and resources. Many suggest that this creates an incentive for defense counsel to pressure a defendant to accept a plea bargain and maximize profit. These competing interests are always a challenge for private defense counsels. With public counsels, confidentiality issues may involve the heavy caseloads encountered by public defense counsel. The pressure to induce a defendant to accept a less than optimal plea in order to close the file and reduce costs is an ever-present danger for public counsel. After graduating law school and being admitted to the bar, the next step is to decide to join a large law firm or strike out on your own and start your own practice. There are pros and cons to both, but you can find success in either. When working for a large firm, newly hired attorneys usually start as associates and work with more experienced lawyers and judges. Working for a top-name law firm that is well recognized and highly regarded in the legal community affords an employee a certain level of status and prestige. After several years, some lawyers may be admitted to partnership and become partial owners of the firm they work for. On the opposite end, this means that you are in competition with other aspiring lawyers. But the challenge can make you a better lawyer. Large firms also practice in multidisciplinary cases, giving a chance to branch out and spread your wings. Much of the high-end complex litigation and transactional legal work is given to large firms, which boast high-caliber talent and a broad range of resources. Large law firms have more on-site resources than smaller firms. Large firm resources range from full-service copy centers and extensive law libraries. Joining a big firm ensures job security as well. Clients of large law firms tend to be more plentiful and diverse than those of smaller firms. A large, diversified client base makes it less likely that the firm will encounter financial difficulty if a client takes his business elsewhere. You can find success in starting your own firm as well. Working for a large law firm can make a young lawyer lose sight of why he or she went into law in the first place. By working your own firm, you can choose your clients that fit your personal values or desired practice area. Along with having more flexibility with your client base, you also have more freedom to give the client the attention he or she deserves. Many businesses and individuals know that and hire independent lawyers because they want a more personal and customized experience with their lawyer. What you should take away from this presentation is this. Law schools don't care what class you take. As long as you maintain a high GPA with your science major and a pretty high LSAT score, law schools will open their doors for you. Once you get to law school, remember that law is a huge subject. You aren't just limited to criminal law. You can study tax law, family law, property law. Whatever your specialty is, know this, your success depends on you. Many agencies are realizing that it is getting expensive to hire outside legal help, so we're looking to hire full-time legal staff or full counselors. It is even getting easier to start your own private firm. With the growing trend of social media, it is easier than ever to stay relevant in today's marketplace. So, get out there.